Quite a lot of rain today in Hong Kong. We're going to be doing some walking over to the flower market. It's Lunar New Year here, so you can see all the flowers and the lanterns. That's why they're scattered all over the place here. First, we need to get out of this housing complex, and then we'll get over to the flower market. Most of the people here in Hong Kong live in housing complexes, housing estates that are protected by guards and gates. Even though the crime here isn't bad, part of the reason it's not bad is because of this. This particular estate is near a school, so all the people in front of me and behind me are students. It rains a lot here, so almost everybody carries umbrellas with them all the time. That way when you get the flash storms, they can whip them out. There's some rural areas here near the estate. It goes up the mountain, as you can see. Some wild pigs and things live up on that mountain, so I see them from time to time. In front of me there's a gas station or filling station, so we're going to skirt that on our way over to the flower market. A lot of people here ride bikes, so there's these bike parking areas all over. But because it rains so much, the bikes don't last long. They get all rusted up, and then people leave them there, so all the bike parking areas are filled with old dead bikes. Probably millions of them all over the city. Quite green, even though it's winter. The leaves, these trees here don't really lose their leaves. They're not deciduous trees very often. Or if they are, it doesn't get cold enough to cause them to lose leaves. This rain's, right now it's pretty light. It's just a little bit of a drizzle, but it kind of goes off and on with this and torrential downpours. So hopefully it won't get too silly while we're heading over to the flower market, but we'll see. A lot of people here lately ride motorcycles because of the traffic. But then you have the motorcycle parking, similar to the bike parking, filled with old dead motorcycles and scooters. Motorcycles have also become a lot more popular due to the food delivery craze. Hong Kong already had a lot of food delivery options, but thanks to COVID, that just exploded. Now there's probably 5 times the delivery people that there was before, maybe even more than that. Almost every restaurant has converted over to delivering food almost exclusively, since a lot of the restaurants are closed here in the evenings due to government mandate, and the seating restrictions are pretty extreme. This is one of the many bus stops. So the buses stop here and people hop off. These buses, you can hop on any one of them and then just scan with an MTR card that we all carry with us. They all use the same card, so you don't have to pay the driver or use tickets or anything like that. Makes it quite easy to get around. Most of the time we take the subway, the train. We call it the MTR. But buses are pretty good too. As you can see over there on the highway, there's a lot of them. Some areas like where I'm at now, there's not a lot of traffic. The roads are pretty clear most of the time. But in the other areas, the downtown areas, it's not so good. So then people will usually switch to the MTR or trams. This path here, if you keep going out, it just goes out into a rural area. We're not going to keep going that far. There's a hospital out there, the Haven of Hope Hospital. So if you ever want to know where we are in Hong Kong, just look up Haven of Hope Hospital and you'll find it. We're going to cross here. Work our way over to the flower market. We have quite a lot of walking and biking paths here. Let's see. You can see that through all the rain. Nice green path for walking and biking. This goes all the way around this whole district of the city. So you could probably bike for hours and hours and never cover the same territory. Alright, try not to get that umbrella in your shot too much. These Lunar New Year festivals, the flower markets, are only open for 1 or 2 weeks of every year. And they sell items that are specific to Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year, like moon cakes and a lot of different kinds of flowers, and you can sometimes get henna tattoos and various kinds of desserts that are specific to this particular holiday. Another popular thing for this holiday is dried meats, dried sausages. So they sell those a lot as well. Another bike graveyard here on the right. In most parts of Hong Kong, people follow the traffic rules pretty closely, but in rural areas like this, where there's not as much traffic, yeah, not so much. Church College, Charitable Foundation College. These are quite popular in Hong Kong. Pretty good schools. They say college, but in U.S. terms, this would be a grade school. Usually, these are primary or secondary schools, which is grade 1 to 6 in the U.S. or grade 7 to 12. This particular one is a primary school, so it's the younger kids, grades 1 to 6. They call them colleges here. I don't know why, but maybe it's a British thing. So they have these advertisements for the school, for all the school programs on the walls. And the parents are supposed to see that and enroll their kids. For a lot of the top tier schools, it's very competitive. The best ones usually only have about a 3 to 4% acceptance rate. So the chances of getting into it are pretty slim unless you're super rich or your kid is very, very skilled or both. English Bible School. Well, you can see here the courtyard for this. Quite big. It is supposed to be a school day, but thanks to COVID, most of the children are doing schooling at home. We have quite a lot of government built playgrounds here, all over in the parks. And they make these things for kids and for old people. For some reason all these ones are closed off, but most of the times they're in good repair and everybody can play on them. They make them for kids and elderly, so some of the things are for kids to climb on and play on, and some of them are for elderly to exercise on. And up here they even have a bit of a skate park. So this isn't going to be open yet today, I don't think. It's looking like it's still closed down. A weekday like this, most of the people are still going to be in work or school, so not too many people are going to be here. We'll probably come back to this and do another video later tonight when there's more people and all the vendors are open. I'm not even sure if they'll let me in right now. Well, we have security guards here, and I do see that some of the booths are open, but nobody's in them. So you can see the rails are set up for the long lines, but today, because of the rain and because of COVID, I don't know if they're going to have any lines today. We're not going to be able to get in and show you the markets, so we're just going to finish off in this park and then head back into the main area of town, and then we'll come back and we'll do another video for the flower market tonight. I was hoping they'd already be open. Sometimes when they're in the first few days they run extra hours, but between the rain and the COVID restrictions today, I'm guessing they decided not to do that. You can see in this park we have a little lighthouse. It's kind of funny, they also made this a Pokemon gym. So if you play Pokemon Go, every time there's a raid, you can see this lighthouse is just filled with people. You can actually walk in it and climb up to the top and look out. Well, we're not going to do that today. You'll just have to imagine the view from up above. Rain stayed pretty light so far. That's helpful. All these parks are maintained by government employees. It's pretty nice. they have their little army of cleaners that go through and trim all the hedges and rake all the leaves and take out all the trash and etc., etc. They're good for jogging and just getting a bit of air. They do get quite busy though in nice days when they come through here. This is the bike path that I showed earlier from above. That there's a walking path, and then next to it is the bike path. It's pretty convenient. You can go from here to Hang Hao and Tseung Kwan O and Lohas Park and a lot of the other areas of Hong Kong just with a bike, with 10 or 15 minutes of pedaling. So you don't always have to take the bus or the train. If you don't mind a bit of exercise, then bike around. Not many people now because of the weather and the time of day. It's pretty early yet. But in the afternoons and evenings on nice days, this is very busy. Okay, we're gonna head on up here and hit a wet market, which I need to pick up some veggies for a healthy lunch. The wet markets here are helpful for that. They're scattered all over Hong Kong. You can see some of my other wet market videos if you go through my video history. They're interesting. They're nice places to visit. You can sometimes find weird stuff there. So today I'm going to be looking for rose apples from South Africa. So they're back in season recently, and I haven't had them in quite a long time, and I'm missing it. So I saw some at the wet markets last week, but didn't have a chance to buy them. So now this week I can grab them up. Okay, well, thank you all for watching. We're going to do a short video today since we couldn't go through the flower market. And then look for the flower market video maybe tomorrow or the next day. If I can get out there tonight, we can do a walkthrough for the flower market and show you the lanterns for sale and the different flowers and the foods. As always, have a good day and see you again soon.